instead of doing physical books, I'm going to show you my Kindle. Now, of course, it's virtually impossible to show my Kindle, and I'm using a webcam, so you're going to see some reflection. I'm sorry about that. Probably see multiple copies of me. However, which is pretty frightening. But here's my Kindle. Now, I've recently just joined Kindle Unlimited. I am intending to continue with it. It's reasonably priced, and there's lots of Marvel, there's lots of DC, also lots of other books, of course. Really good for all kinds of different areas, and I've just been exploring lots of stuff. So I'm just going to go through the ones I've got in my all section that I've obviously purchased or Kindle Unlimited, etc. Dazzler Masterworks. Quite often Amazon puts on like £1.50 or something, or £1 deals for Marvel Masterworks. So at that time, I've just gone and bought it. And I quite like the Dazzler stories. Also, Captain Marvel, Volume 1, Higher, Further and Faster. That's Kindle Unlimited. I think that's part of another part of Kindle Unlimited as well. The Art of Ramona Fraden. I love her work. I've also got the book in physical, but I thought, why not just download it as well? And it's pretty good. Solo. Now, this is Solo 1 with the Darwin Cook, issue 5. I had a look online, couldn't find a copy of it here in the UK. I mean, I'm certain there is, but I couldn't find a copy. So I thought for £1 or so, £1.49 or something, I thought, why not just get the Kindle version? Not so keen. I mean, the artwork is superb. I would have loved to have had the physical one, but they're very expensive. I've been thoroughly enjoying this one. Patty Boyd, The Wonderful Tonight. Really, really good Kindle version of that. I've also got recently a Patty Boyd book, physical book, about 30 quid. Physical one with all tons and tons of pictures, which is great. I really love that period of the 60s and also the 70s. And it's just fascinating. But I also thought, you know what, I want to find out more about Patty Boyd. So I just also got that from the Kindle Unlimited. I'm learning PowerPoint at the moment. It seems weird. For years and years, I have not learnt PowerPoint. And I thought, why not get PowerPoint and Word? So I'm just going through it. Very complicated. There's lots and lots of features. I'm more a Photoshop, Affinity Photo. But I thought, let's just make an effort. Maybe do some tutorials on it. I don't know. But I'm just working it through at the moment. This one's got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ultimate Black and White Collection, Volume 1. I don't know if it's got Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, etc. Also part of Kindle Unlimited. I love these ones. Love and Rockets. Now, I haven't got all of them, but I've started it. I mean, the thing is with Kindle, you'll notice like 9%. I've read 9%. That's not true. I've actually gone through and read it. Of course, when you go back to a certain point, it puts it at 9%, even if you've actually read further on. So it's a bit confusing in that respect. So whenever you see the figure, I don't think that figure's ever accurate. Like with this one, Far Sector, thoroughly enjoying that. Green Lantern one. This one's great. Savage Tales, Vampirella. There's a lot of Dynamite books on here. You've got Vampirella, the Dynamite Years Omnibus. Again, another one that sometimes some of these collections are quite hard to find. So I thought, you know what? I'll just get them on here. Vintage SF in the popular magazines. Checklist, 1874 to 1936. Sort of thing that you really need to know, but still quite a fascinating book. This one I haven't started yet, but quite often I get sort of messages come and say, you must read this. And I think, oh, that sounds quite good. So I've just gone and got that one, Space Janitor. The complete, I don't know, probably good, maybe not, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed some of that. Sword of the Swashbucklers. Never finished it completely, so I've downloaded it to read that. Excellent Jungle Girl. Maybe not as good as some series, but I've thoroughly enjoyed what I have read in the past. Eden. Haven't started yet. Power of Shazam. I've read lots of Shazam one, DC ones. Obviously, I've got rid of them. I don't keep them on here. Obviously, I return them because I think there's a certain limited point where even with the unlimited, it's not unlimited in terms of how many you can actually get access at any one time. Now, I'm a mega fan of Harlan Ellison, and there's a biography. I must actually buy that. I've got the sample. Love getting the samples. So whenever I go online, I always quite often think, oh, that'd be interesting. And I click the sample, and then I think, well, I might buy it later. So that's the reason for that. Harlan Ellison, great writer. Strange Adventures. Now, I'm not far through that yet, but the artwork is superb. Strange Adventures by Tom King. Just for One Day, The Adventures of Britpop, Louise Venner. Absolutely brilliant story, really fascinating, just lovely, just period detail, just great. I love that book. I love lots of pop books. I've got loads of record books related and biographies and autobiographies of artists, and that's just a real great one. I love these collections. I don't know, crazy sort of things. You get this 50 classic Gothic. Now, sometimes the formatting pretty awful. I don't know this one. I'm not going to say this one is good or that one's not. I have read through quite a few of them. I think it was okay. Didn't have a problem. Quite often you see comments people put, the formatting doesn't work. But that one seemed okay to me, but it's got Dracula, Frankenstein, etc. Now, again, this is one, Submariner Masterworks. I've read that. Absolutely brilliant. So you've got, now I'm not going to click onto them and show you all the, because you, like I say, it makes it quite fiddly to see on screen, zoom in and all that sort of stuff. So it's just no point in reading. But I've read that one. I love it. Love Bill Everett's work. Brilliant. Asimov. Now, quite often there's a, I think it's Fantasy and Science Fiction magazine is available. You can get that for free in the Kindle Unlimited. And that's about £3 or £4 in the shop. And which is really good. I thoroughly enjoy reading it. Again, formatting, sometimes people complain about issues with it. I haven't found any problems with it. But I think that's always the weird thing. When often I look at comments, it says, oh, the format's terrible. Formatting's terrible. Oh, I can't read, blah, blah, blah. Of course, there's often pictures are missing. And I think that's the problem they mean. This one's great. The British Library, there's lots of these. And I love it. If you want sort of horror books, loads and loads of these. Artificial Man. And this one, I think actually saying that, I purchased this one. Claire Winger Harris. But there are lots of other British Library ones. I'm actually saying that. I'm saying that. Is that a BFI one? I'm saying British Library. But there are also British Library ones, the horror ones. They're just brilliant. I love those books. Lots and lots of those. I haven't got any here. Because like I say, sometimes I read them. Once you read them, of course, I don't keep them on here or keep them in my library. I just return them. So this is not a complete listing of everything. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed the Sex Pistols one that was on Disney Plus, and that was what it was based on, the Lonely Boy one, Steve Jones. So I bought that one. And I've been reading that. Again, it says 1%. I've read a lot more than that. I've just bounced backwards and forwards because I remember the time, 1976, 77, and it's familiar territory and, of course, other periods. This is excellent. Talbot Mundy. Quite often I read these get these sort of information. You think, oh, so I purchased that. It's complete works of. Harold Lamb Mega Pack. 18 classic adventure tales. Again, another superb writer from, I think it was like turn of the century, 20th century. Imagine growing up with my brother John Lennon. Excellent. Really, really fascinating. I love those sort of books. Again, biographies or autobiography in this case, obviously growing up with the Julia Bard. Reckless, another one. Chrissie Hynde. And again, that was part of the Sex Pistols one on Disney Plus. Chrissie Hynde. I was surprised. I didn't realise that she was in the shop where the Sex Pistols, because I've been to that shop. I went to that shop when it was there, and yeah, it was amazing. And so it was fascinating to see Chrissie Hynde there. This is excellent. Ad Astra in Africa. I bought that one, Barry Windsor Smith. The book, to actually buy it physically, is very expensive, or anything of the Barry Windsor Smith done like that. But I got it on here. The artwork is superb, really worth checking out. Now I've got lots of books there. So I just download it. I just think, oh, that sounds interesting. The perfect uplifting escapist read from bestseller Lucy Coleman, The Villa of Dreams. Certainly it's very good. Haven't read it yet. The collected works of Jules Verne. So again, another one of these massive collection ones. It says new. I'm certain I've read it actually, some of it, but it doesn't seem to be that case. Now this one, Savage She-Hulk. Now I've got that I've got the omnibus edition. Obviously, sometimes some of these I bought for about £1 or something, 99p. And of course, they brought out the omnibus. Here's the Marvel Masterworks. I've got volume 3. The Dollmaker's Daughter by Dilly Core. I really like her. Again, the sample one. I've got quite a few of her books. I thoroughly enjoy them. They're very good reads. Santa's Christmas Library. 400 plus Christmas novels. I mean, really? 400 Christmas novels. I think it's 49 pence, which is insanely expensive. Henry O. I think it's probably other people as well. Marvel Team Up. Now, unfortunately, Marvel Team Up, I've got that one, Marvel Masterworks, and that's number 1. I think that's number 1. They haven't brought out an omnibus edition yet. So I hope at some point they'll bring an omnibus edition out of that. Spider-Woman. Now this is volume 1, Spider-Woman. Now I haven't got that in omnibus. I don't think there's any omnibuses as yet for Spider-Woman. I really enjoyed the stories when they came out. It's obviously got the Marvel Spotlight one and also obviously Spider-Woman itself. Rawhide Kid. Now I think they brought out, well, it hadn't Essentials. I've got the Essentials for that one, but I've also got Rawhide Kid. And they're good stories, those westerns. Obviously all the early 1960s one, I think that's volume 1. It was in a paperback version. I did have that. I got rid of it. Regret that. Journey into Mystery. Now these ones are, this is one trouble with the Kindle, and you can't update it, is that it doesn't give any numbering information. Now you can see I've got a 4 there. I'm just going to expand that, but it doesn't show you the whole lot. So when I say I've got volume 1, there's volume 2, oh no, I've got volume 5, volume 6 and volume 7. So go back up again to that. I probably missed a few there. Oh, I've noticed actually going through that as well. I've got 2 volumes of the She-Hulk. Yes, should have noticed those. So likewise 2 volumes of Rawhide. But Journey into Mystery. Now I've got those, and I'm just going to expand that out so you can see those as well. Now you probably can't, unfortunately you can't blow up this display. It'd be nice if you could make them bigger. The thumbnails on these are very, very small. Now you've got a grid, but even the grid is not very big. It's not really big, chunky pictures. But you can see there, you've got Atlas, Journey into Mystery 1, 2, 3 and 4. And these are all like 1951, 50, 52, 53, that sort of period. Lots of great stories. Lots of like Bill Everett's, Don Heck, or whatever. Loads of great, brilliant artists. So we come out of that. And then down to Deathlock Mask. Now, I've never read that, the Deathlock one. I will at some point. Now, I never read the comic when it came out, Deathlock, so I don't really know much about the storyline at all. I saw him, it was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., one on TV series. I think he was on that, I don't know what happened to that storyline. I must have been one of those bits where suddenly the storyline vanished and I missed a few episodes. Now, I've got Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. I'd love to see these in omnibus. These are in Marvel Masterworks, of course. And I've got book 2, book 3 and book 4. The reason being I've got the book 1 already, so I don't need that one. But in Kindle, of course, so it's nice. The stories go up obviously to, I'm not certain what period. Again, without going into them, you can't. Doesn't give you the details. It'd be really nice if it gave you the year. Then you notice I've got Manili at Charlton, version 2, updated. Now, I don't know. Sometimes that happens on Kindle. You suddenly notice it's updated or version 2 and you think, oh, I don't know. But that's got some great Manili stories. Of course, Manili was at Atlas Comics, so it's just great to have a little collection of his work. I think I paid for that one. That was Charlton Arrow. I don't know where I got that one from, but it was a book, sort of fanzine-like sort of thing with some stories. Also, Amazing Adventures. You can see I've got 2 of those as well. Again, they were the Killraven stories, as well as others. Well, I don't know what that one was. Let's have a look. Oh, that's volume 1. And oh, that's the Killraven Marvel. That's weird, isn't it? Wait, they've done it Killraven Marvel Masterworks volume 1. They were that issue 18, 19, 20, etc. of Amazing Adventures. And you've got this one, Inhumans Masterworks volume 1. And that's the Amazing Adventures. I love those stories. They have yet to bring out that collection in a proper omnibus, as far as I'm aware. Now, I think they did bring out some paperback editions of those. I didn't get them, but it's nice to have them here. So let's come back out again. Quite easy to tap the wrong thing. And I've got here Atlas Era Battlefield. Again, one of these 99p jobs. Volume 1. Great stories, really great wars. I would love to see more of these Atlas Era books come out, but they've stopped doing those for ages. Kazar Masterworks. Now, I've got volume 2 in physical. Brilliant. I love the Kazar stories. I've got them all in comic form, but I wanted them in this sort of collection because that was brilliant. Astonishing Tales with Doctor Doom, as well as those other stories. They were just brilliant. But it is nice to have them as a Kindle. Captain Marvel. The omnibus collection is coming out very soon, next week. So I'm looking forward to that. But I've got then 3 volumes of that, probably covering the period. I've got, yes, volume 1, 2 and 3. Probably got all those stories in the Kindle format. You can see it's a Starling one. You've got the one with Gil Kane. And also you've got, obviously, when he was in his green, Captain Marvel. Then you got Ant-Man, Giant Man, Masterworks Volume 3. Because the Epic Collection suddenly stopped and didn't include all the Ant-Man stories, I decided, well, I'm just going to go and get the Marvel Masterworks. So I've got those stories, the ones that they've left off. I'd love to see an omnibus edition of that. Now, weirdly, I've only got one of those, Submariner Masterworks Volume 1. I'm surprised I didn't get all the Volume 2. But also I've got this one. Now, this one, Volume 15 of the Avengers. That's got Hellcat. That was the first appearance. That's brilliant Perez work. But I've got that now in Epic. This one, Atlas Era Masterworks, Menace Volume 1. I think that's the only one they did for Menace. I don't know if there were many more books either, because sometimes back in the Atlas period, often Martin Goodman, they would cancel books all over the place. So you would have a book come out, Menace, and then it would be Menace, blah, 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 and then it'd be gone. And also I've got the brilliant, and I had that in physical, I wish I kept it, Atlas Era, Black Knight and Yellow Claw Marvel Masterwork. Superb stories. Also Atlas, and that's got a lot of Joe Manili one. Jungle Adventures Volume 1. Now I've got the Volume 2 in physical, but they're good stories. They're unusual. And also Atlas Era Heroes. Now I've got those now in other forms. I've got those in various paperback collections as well as omnibus. But the Atlas Era Heroes, just great stories. You've got those Submariners, Human Torch and Captain America. Just brilliant tales. First one obviously being the Human Torch. 1954-55, that period. Finished off the last one, the third volume, was all Submariner, Bill Everett. Just brilliant. There might have been some other artists. Now they're bringing this out very soon as well. Omnibus edition of Warlock. So I've got this one, Volume 1, but this includes some great stories. You've got obviously the Power of Warlock. I love that series. Gil Kane artwork. 1970s was some of my really early favourite comics. Just absolutely brilliant. Don't know what that one is. The Incredible Nellie Bly. Sometimes you get ones you think, no idea. However, Doom Patrol. I love those stories. Doom Patrol, great. Morrison Grant, that's a Kindle Unlimited. Again, this is the thing about Kindle Unlimited. Oh, got Incredible Nellie Bly again. Incredible. Oh. Don't know what happened there. The processor has gone a bit wrong and it's created multiple copies there. Very strange. Swing in London. Who was and where? Who was who and where it was? It's just a sample one. Again, this is one of the things. Occasionally I might get it and then I'll think, you know what? I'll go and buy the actual book. The Seafarers. I don't know what that. Oh, that's guy obviously. Wizard of Oz, complete novels, Mary Shelley, really great collection. Also got Matilda, and that's by Shelley, Mary Wollstonecraft. The Vampire by Polidori, I should say. How to Write Photoplays. I love these sort of things. These are books that have got sort of 1920s, 1930s, sort of, obviously that sort of period, really early period of sort of movies. And I just love these ones. Rosalind, Regency romance. These are the sort of things I enjoy. Marvel Comics Group and the Silver Age of Comics. That is brilliant. That's by Marek. Joseph William Marek. Really good book. I love it. The Final Winter. Good old apocalyptic story. Jane Eyre French edition. I'm not certain why I bought that. French edition. I'm certain it's in English. But it says French edition. Sometimes some of the descriptions are really odd. Some of the titles are odd. You think, no, I am quite certain that is the English version. I wouldn't have bought French version. Virginia Woolf, The Complete Collection. The Christmas Books of Mr. A. Titmarsh by Thackeray. Just absolutely brilliant. They're great little Christmas tales. And of course, you've got Dickens' Christmas tales, but Thackeray also produced a lot of Christmas ones as well. And that's there. E. Doc Smith. I loved E. Doc Smith once growing up. Had all the books. Great writer. And I know lots of people don't like him. His writing and all his style. It's very old-fashioned, I guess. But I still think they were pretty decent. Highlights of World Literature. I'm actually not certain what that even is. Complete works of H.G. Wells. Again, these are great. This is the thing about the Kindle. You've got like thousands of books. Sometimes, of course, the trouble with these books is that you've got the contents and it's like literally thousands and thousands of entry. You've got letter of this, letter of that, what's the name of this, essay of this. And you go searching through it. Very hard to actually look through it. This one, Voltaire, really great writer. I read those, loads of those when I was younger. And I just thought, well, and also this one, of course, Edgar Rice Burroughs. I love like all of his Martian story, all those sort of Tarzan, obviously that sort of thing. But this is like, I think this is mainly, it might be some Tarzan, but the main reason I bought it was for the Martian stories. Mainly because sometimes it's very hard to get all of them. I've got a couple of Martian ones, but sometimes you just got gaps and you think, oh, let's just get this. This is the, now I think I've got another one, this one, because even though it's the Ultimate Collection, it's got quite a lot of these books are called Robert E. Howard Ultimate Collection or Master Collection and contains everything. But sometimes you always think, hang on, but you find other stuff where it seems to be slightly different. So I don't know. But this has got 300 cult classics. Now I've got lots and lots of the physical books, but it's nice just to have lots of these ones, the odd like westerns or picked stories or things that I haven't got. So unless I start reading them and think, you know what, I must get the physical volume of that. Rudyard Kipling, you got that, complete works of William Shakespeare. And the reason I got it was for the stories that obviously are not his, or maybe are his, maybe not. But still, great. Also, Roman history. I love Roman history. So, Livy, Short History of Russia. I don't know why I got that. You got here, Inhumans Masterworks, Volume 2. Well, the stories are great. I loved them when they came out. These came out in the 70s. And they were just a run that never seemed to get reprinted. So I was really over the moon to actually see them in this Masterworks. Unfortunately, the Masterworks volumes are always very expensive. So I just haven't bought it. I would love to see an omnibus collection. I don't know why no one's brought out an omnibus collection of the Inhumans yet. Seems odd that that's been missing, but there's lots of Captain Savage. Why no omnibus edition? And loads of others. Millie the Model. Now that would be brilliant. The collected works of Joseph Conrad. Complete works again. Complete works of Henry Rider Haggard. Superb writers. Chesterton. Also Robert Louis Stevenson. Collected works of Oscar Wilde. Collected works of Chekhov. Collected works of, there's a lot of, and these are huge. I mean, literally hundreds of stories in these books. Just staggering amount of material. Also got the collected works of D.H. Lawrence, The Wasteland, and now I've got a couple of Marvel works. This one, Marvel Masterworks Volume 4, has got the Barry Windsor Smith stories. I just love the H.P. Lovecraft / Robert E. Howard stories. Great stories. Miss Marvel Masterworks, again, I've got that in omnibus now. Daredevil, Volume 9. That's about issue 100, that sort of period. Great stories. I haven't got that in Kindle, the Marvel Masterworks proper and physical or an Epic collection. Wuthering Heights. Now I love drawing. Got loads of these sort of collections. Art Models, number 9. Clothes Figures for Visual Arts. Just brilliant collection. Tolstoy, complete works of F. Scott Fitzgerald, complete works of Peter Pan. The Doll, obviously a horror story. The first book of Moses called Genesis. This is by William Tyndale. One time you could actually be with that. I wouldn't have shown that probably to Henry VIII anyway. Probably wouldn't have survived. But still, probably wouldn't have survived if I showed him the Kindle, of course. Now, quite often in science fiction dramas, characters go back in time and they've got various things and they always take an electronic device. Of course, you take the Kindle. It lasts a long time, but it doesn't last forever. That's a problem. Anyway, that's a different story. I'm surprised no one's done that story yet. They probably have. Through the Looking Glass, Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, H.P. Lovecraft, the complete collection. I'm a mega fan of H.P. Lovecraft. I've got lots of H.P. Lovecraft books. It's got lots and lots of great stories, some that I've never heard of. Complete works of Robert E. Howard again. Now, I think there may be some more different, I don't know. Obviously, without checking them, maybe they're just in different orders, but I just sort of bought that as well. And also John Carter's Chronicles of Mars, yet more, of course, the Martian stories. And brilliant complete works of Charles Dickens. Again, literally everything. Piles and piles of stuff that I've never heard of. Just brilliant books. And Be Creative, very good one. Talk of the Town, don't know what that's about. That's obviously a novel. Centurion's Wife, I love Roman ones, that's great. The Little Bit of Everything for Dummies. There's lots of these ones you can get online. Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, great. Hidden Steel, I'm not certain what that is. New York, A Brief History, that's really good. Nietzsche, 8 books. I do get some odd selections of things. Daughter of Joy, Relentless, Hide in Plain Sight, Irresistible Forces, Stuck in the Middle, England under Tudors, Secret History of the Court of Justinian by Brasipius, Roman Life in the Days of Cicero, Lays of Ancient Rome, History of England, Ancient Rome, Glamour, and that. Oh, there's some more horror books. The Blood That Bonds, Glamour, Painless. Are these books I've read, flicked through at some point, but I've never removed. Ethics by Aristotle, Madame Bovary, Christmas Carol, Christmas Eve Bride, again one of Mills and Boon's, great, some of them. Glassblower of Murano, Thoughts of Marcus Aurelius, one of the best books. I love that book. It's one of those books you can always dip into and read again. Published on Amazon. I've actually published 3 books. They're not proper books. They're sort of books, sort of collections of bits and pieces, guides to storing of information, that sort of stuff. One day I might actually write a proper book, which I consider a proper book. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But anyway, 11 comedies by Aristophanes and something called No Title. That's ominous. I don't know what that is. No Title. I'm certain that's a great read. However, that's the all section. Here's my downloaded. Let's just put that in a different format so you can sort it. So you've got sort and all and that sort of stuff. So filter. Oh, I'm not going to do that. It's just quick. But you can see I've got like solo art of. So I haven't got everything downloaded. I don't download them all. So I'm in a certain percentage. You can see the 8%, whatever. But it means nothing because I've probably read in advance some of these stories. So I don't keep everything all downloaded. But Maggie, of course, Love and Rockets. I love that. Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, etc. And Wonderful Tonight. Brilliant. So that's my Kindle. Now, 5 weeks' time, 10 weeks' time, my Kindle may be very different from that. There'll be a complete different set of files on it. But I love reading it. It's super handy because you can just take it up to town, up to London, and just read on train or read anywhere. And sometimes you don't want to lug a book around because they're just big and just much easier with a Kindle. But the Kindle Unlimited I have actually enjoyed. I really, really like the Kindle Unlimited. I think I keep finding more and more stuff that I go through and sort of think, oh, that sounds interesting. Download that. Now, there does seem to be a limit. And then sometimes there doesn't seem to be a limit. Sometimes it says we've reached the maximum. And then sometimes it seems to let me download more books. I'm not certain. Very confusing system. But overall, for the price I'm paying at the moment, was actually a special offer. But I will continue for a lot longer. I'll probably continue for quite a while because why not? When you get books that I've paid £10 or £20 for in the shops, if I can just buy it, get it downloaded, it just covers it for at least 2 or 3 months worth of reading. And I don't have to have the physical book for everything. Well, I hope you found this of interest going through this. Please put in the comments below, what have you got Kindle Unlimited? Have you got a Kindle? Do you use your Kindle? Do you hate Kindles? Will you never get a Kindle? Do you think people should only read physical books? Perfectly reasonable. I mean, I prefer a physical book, but Kindles, digital, in a variety of different formats, I'm perfectly happy with. And they are easy, even though the format and size limitations could be improved. That's certainly a big area. I think they need to really improve the quality of the pictures in them. But overall, I found them really, really good. And especially when you can zoom in on various things. You can also click on panels, though I don't like reading comics panel by panel by panel by panel. I prefer the whole page. And it's nice to be able to move it up and down just to look back and forth. But the panel, I think, just forces you in a particular way of reading it, which I don't always like. But anyway, I don't know what's your experience of these sort of things. Anyway, hope you found this of interest. Bye.